TIBCO Clarity provides comprehensive facet-based data functions that allow you to select and process subsets of data based on your needs. A facet is an attribute or dimension of a data value, such as its length or its format, or the presence of special characters. A facet-based search operates like a filter that can isolate specific sets of data rows for inspection, modification, or removal. Clarity provides predefined facet searches, and you can also customize Clarity faceting when necessary to more precisely target your data values. Let's begin by taking a look at how to use some of the Clarity predefined facets, known as default facets. We'll use the sample student records dataset and project for this demonstration. The facet functions are accessed from each column header menu. When you select the facet submenu, you'll observe the available default Clarity facets, which will vary depending on the column data type. The text facet is selected on the subject column. The results are displayed in the Facet Filter tab. The text facet reveals the set of distinct values that exist in the selected column, along with the number of occurrences for each value. Next, the text facet is selected on the class column. The results are added to the Facet Filter tab underneath the previous facet results. You can perform several operations on the facet results. You can immediately sort facet results either by name or by count. Sorting by count could help you check for duplications in the column. You can display subsets of your data in the data panel by selecting one or more entries from within your facet results. When you select an entry, the corresponding rows that contain the entry value are filtered into the data panel. In this example, the data rows associated with a particular class are singled out. To remove data from the data panel, select Exclude on the entry. You can also edit your faceted data from the Facet Filter tab. When you select an entry and then choose Edit, you'll be presented with a dialog through which you can enter and apply a new value for the subselected rows. In some sets of data, there may exist several values in a column that differ only slightly and that need to be replaced with a uniform value. Clarity provides the cluster function to help identify column values that have slightly different spellings. For example, when the text facet is selected for the class column, several of the values displayed for Class 4 are quite similar. Selecting Cluster on the facet results presents suggested groupings or clusters of values that may need to be made identical. You can enter a new column cell value to replace all of the values in the cluster by selecting the Merge checkbox and then Merge Selected and Close. Note that the new value has been applied to all the rows in the cluster. Now let's look at how some of the other Clarity default facets work. The numeric default facet becomes available in the Facet menu when the column data is type integer, long, float, or double. We'll select the numeric facet for the score column. The numeric facet provides you an overview of the number distribution, which is shown in a chart format. As you slide the boundary markers, as well as the entire window, the resulting subselected rows are updated in the data panel. Another default facet available is the text pattern facet. The text pattern facet allows you to quickly find out which patterns exist in the selected column data and optionally filter out inconsistent data formats. When applied to the exam date column, the resulting facet panel displays the various date formats and their row counts. Recall that the number 9 represents the existence of a digit, the letter A represents an alphabetic character, upper or lower case, and the slash and other special characters are shown as literals. As with any facet search, you can select individual entries to reveal the corresponding data rows, and then consider how you might modify those values. Note that the All column also provides a set of predefined facets that can identify rows that have been starred, flagged, are invalid, or are empty. Here we use the Facet by Validation option to reveal how many rows have been flagged as invalid. It returns the number of flagged rows as true with a count. We include this entry to filter the flagged rows, which we can then further investigate in the data panel. And finally, you can perform further faceting on an existing facet search. Shown here is the text facet performed on the score column. By clicking the Facet by Choice Counts link at the bottom of the Facet panel, a second facet opens underneath. This additional facet on the score column allows you to restrict the range of scores displayed by the original text facet. As you slide the boundary markers, as well as the entire window, the resulting sub-selected rows are updated in the data panel. If the Clarity default facets do not provide enough precision around the data you're working on, you can customize facets to suit your needs. TIBCO Clarity provides options to customize a text facet, customize a numeric facet, or for you to apply one of the Clarity predefined customized facets. We'll now demonstrate custom faceting on the last name column within the Sample Customers project. When you select Custom Text Facet for a column, you'll be prompted to define an expression for the facet. Note that the default expression is set to value, which means that the result of the expression is the original row value as is. The expression results for each row value are displayed in the expression column in the Custom Facet dialog preview panel. Selecting OK with the expression set to value produces the same results in the Facet Filter tab as the Clarity default text facet. However, the Clarity Custom Text Facet allows you to customize the expression. For example, if you want to facet data based on the first letter of each row value, you can use the available expression operators to do so. The expression value is replaced with a new expression, where the 0th position refers to the first letter of the row value. Observe in the dialog preview panel that the result in the expression column is the first letter of every last name row value. When we click OK to apply the custom facet, the expected results are displayed in the Facet Filter tab. Syntax information about how to define your custom facet expressions can be found through the Custom Facet Dialog Help tab. This concludes this demonstration of the fundamentals of faceting in TIBCO Clarity.